It's the 14th of February 2023, a beautiful Tuesday afternoon in Lagos, Nigeria. I bid you a very, very, very warm welcome to the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Shola Rogers.
And my name is Olajelko. You know, the one and only. Thank you.
You're far too kind.
Thank you.
Anytime I hear people say thank you, Jay-Z's opening line on that encore mashup always comes to my mind, and he goes, thank you. You're far too kind. So you're far too kind.
Basically, like he had said, with your warm welcome, it is the Boom Bar right here on Boom Radio NG. It is Valentine's Day, St. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So happy. How do they say?
Well, it's St. Valentine's Day, and to be honest, I don't want to be the Valentine Grinch or Grouch or whatever they call it, because I have my own opinions.
Yeah, always the Valentine, the Christmas Grinch, everything.
No, you're the Christmas one.
Chris birthday.
You're the one that don't like
Grinch.
Christmas decorations and everything. You are the Christmas.
I do not. I never said I do not like Christmas decorations. I think that Nigerians just take it too far.
Yeah.
And we should take it down.
Yeah, we're getting somewhere.
It's
All right.
too long.
So, this is not what it's about. Something popped up. Apologies. So, the Boom Bar is 60 minutes of discussions and preferring solutions, in the areas of music, sports, politics, and everything in between. That's what we do, basically. And because Nigeria is moving towards the general elections, we are hoping and praying that everything goes well. But it's our job to bring you, the news behind the news, all the news that you can use, and everything in between. So that's what we are doing here.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about a lot of things today. Maybe not as much politics today, but we're going to be dealing with a few things. The CBN is in the news a lot today. They probably need some explanation they're going to have to do for us. Also, there's been, a lot of back and forth on this same Naira issue. It even comes to seem like the Naira issue has even overshadowed everything else.
That's what it is. It's
fuel scarcity that I don't know if it's not gone. I don't know if it's better or. I
think it's still a mixed bag of situations for Nigerians, depending on where you are. I've been monitoring online and reached out to one or two people. Some people in some parts of Ondo State are telling me that the queues are gone, and some people in Ibadan saying that the queues have gone down, but that there's still queues, but it's not as bad as it used to be. Some parts of Lagos, some people said they bought fuel under 15, 20 minutes. And some people are saying that they're spending
that literally
hours.
There's a drive-through and all that. So we definitely, I just put that out there, like it wasn't, it's something that we've kind of not been talking about. Maybe there needs to be an update. Also, there's a bit of politics story. Governor Wike is in news. The Labour Party is in news. There are a bit of conflicting issues that I need some clarity over. Some news came out yesterday, and the party is debunking it today. But I saw videos, though. But anyway, we will get around to it. Also, there's a bit of football news, and it's really not about games being played. It's about stuff that has happened. The UEFA is in the news. Referees and VAR, they're also in the news. I think it's stuff that we should also talk about. A footballer has come out as gay. It's not something that you see a lot in the footballing world. I think that definitely takes a lot of courage to be able to do such a thing. And so these are things that we're going to be talking about today. And as things pop up, we definitely would give you as much as we can before our time runs out. So for starters, The first story that I think that we should talk about is the legal tender. You know, the CBN's to the 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira notes. News broke today that CBN has said that there isn't going to be any form of extension, and the deadline for this notes to be legal tender has actually expired. So we're not supposed to be spending this anymore.
Today is February the 14th. The CBN waited 4 days, from their original deadline of, or their second original deadline, which was the 10th of February. So for 4 days, there was a lot of confusion in the land. It doesn't look like there's anybody in charge of this whole Naira transactions and all these issues that we are facing as a nation. It took them 4 days to come out to tell us that whatever you heard about the Supreme Court's decisions, whatever meetings that they had, because there was a meeting on Friday. One of the biggest organs when it comes to governance in Nigeria, talking about, I think it was the Council of State or whatever, that had, former presidents and all of that. With the CBN, governor somewhere in the shadow there, could not resolve this issue the way I believe majority of Nigerians wanted. The president asked for 7 days. President Buhari wanted 7 days.
4 days after the 7 days, still nothing.
7 plus 4.
11 days.
11 days, Mr. President. We haven't heard from you. This time yesterday, about 24 hours ago, there was a meeting. Widely reported meeting between the CBN governor and the president of Nigeria.
We really didn't hear anything about it.
We didn't hear anything.
But now I have a bit of an issue with this declaration. Why? Because this news broke from the CBN branch in Bauchi State. I would have expected that this news will come from HQ, or a statement from Godwin Emefiele himself. And I'm sorry, I do not see how these old notes are going to be, like you said, 4 days after, people are still spending it. I still spent it yesterday. I think I still have a few in my bag somewhere. The honest truth is, people do not have options. How do you now come up from that and you think people are going to answer you? The honest truth is, as long as people are collecting and spending it, you cannot just ban it, especially when people do not have alternatives. It is not making any sense.
Again, can you hear me very well?
Yes.
Because all I can hear is the bed. So, over and over again, thank you. All I can hear, is the CBN saying that they are empowered by the CBN Act to do what they're doing with the currency redesign and mop-up of cash and everything. But the same act says that the money is still illegal tender. At least you can still take it to the bank.
Yeah.
Now, the bulk of Nigerians are going through a lot trying to buy petrol.
Basic stuff.
Majorly petrol now. All the other stuff they are buying already. Petrol because it's been scarce for months. Yeah?
Yeah.
And we know, and everybody has seen it, the bullion vans usually come to pick up cash from the filling stations. But these days, it's even reduced because a lot of people are doing e-transactions. They're using their POS and paying with transfers and all of that. Some filling stations allow you to pay with transfers. Some don't. After all of this is being done, the people who have access to take money to the bank, like filling stations and other big corporates, have reported to be refusing the old
notes.
notes. that's a big problem. But the law says that you can still bring the money even after the expiration of the extension. The CBN, to me, is not doing enough in the area of, enforcing this law that empowers them.
Remember, they were not even going to tell people anyway.
That aspect, until the House of Reps called them out.
So, are you surprised that they're not?
But you need to look at how people are suffering. I saw a video, of an elderly man. I'll put him maybe in his 60s or 70s, right? In a bank. He had a worker, which was to assist him to work. But he was sitting down in a bank, and he was crying. He was shedding tears. And what was he talking about? The fact that he wanted to access his funds and he couldn't. He said he was out of his drugs that he was supposed to use, to stay healthy and survive and stay alive. The man was virtually crying and begging. Over and over again, I have seen the politicization of this whole process. Seeing that we're in a period where people are trying to employ the next CEO of Nigeria. Mm-hmm. And it's looking like a tug of war. And the people are at the receiving end. If some candidates are saying, release money, let people spend. Some are saying, no, you have to make sacrifices and everything. And I look at the people that you're asking to make sacrifices. They are suffering. These are the people that you want to come and vote. They are suffering. They can't buy things. I was in the market a few days ago in a store where we usually buy stuff. And the lady also does the money transfer thing, the cashback thing. And while we were there were 6 different people that she said no to. No cash, no cash, no cash, no cash. It's crazy. And that's just 6 in the space of like 10 minutes that I was there. Yeah. So I don't know how many people she has to tell no cash to. And the ripple effect that has. I'm speaking about the ripple effect. Mr. Rewani, I don't know what I've done with his first name now. Who is
Alfred Rewani?
Is not Alfred.
No, Bismarck.
Yeah, Bismarck. Because Alfred is the road in Ikoyi. Yeah. So thank you for the name. Bismarck Rewani. Was speaking at I think it was Lagos Business School or something recently. And according to him, because he's a financial expert, it says that this will cost Nigeria about GDP. About $18 million daily. Or is it daily or monthly? Daily.
Daily, I think
daily.
It's daily. Monthly.
And that's a massive drop in, whatever progress that I think they've made.
There's no purchasing power. Nothing is where if people are not buying and selling, that basically is the basis of our economy.
Okay.
People are not buying and selling. What's the point of it? It is not making any sense. The honest truth is, I don't know what CBN is what their end game is, or what their game plan is. I don't know what President Buhari's end game is at this point, because the honest truth is not making sense. And still talking about this, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has accused the central bank. Remember that there is a central bank ruling already that has told the CBN to halt this deadline for the time being. Now, he is now saying that the CBN has flouted the interim injunction suspending this policy. And I remember that I read something where someone was going on about how this injunction this case was against the federal government and not the CBN, so the CBN does not need to follow this and blah and blah and blah and blah. Now, maybe I don't understand. I thought the Supreme Court, when the Supreme Court makes an order, even the president has to follow it. Everybody
is supposed to obey the courts, regardless of the court. It doesn't even have to be the Supreme Court. Like, based on certain cases, some courts are empowered to speak on certain things. But like you pointed out, the Supreme Court is the ultimate. Mm-hmm. Now, lawyers have argued and that's the beauty of democracy and the beauty of the law, that the case by those 3 states that other states have asked to join is against the federal, and that they did not have the Supreme Court. Now, is that if a mistake on the part of the governors that took this case to court?
Or was it deliberate?
Was it deliberate? Is it with the hope that the federal government that employed or appointed the CBN governor would be able to issue such directives? Is it something within its executive powers, to say, Mr. CBN governor, okay, back down or whatever? After all, he was able to get an extension, which I don't know. They didn't have to go to a court to get. So my own angle and my own appeal is that I know that a lot of people have politicized this, and it's fine, because if you speak to one side, you'll be labeled this way, and if you're afraid to be labeled, if you believe in your truth, then you're not worthy of somebody who should be speaking at all. So this is me saying to the president of Nigeria, to the governor of the CBN, and everybody, are the sufferings of the people not enough for you to do something about this law and this cash redesign, Naira mop-up thing that you're trying to do?
Yeah.
If you say that you are trying to do a swap, then be honest and let's do a swap.
If not,
if you say that you're trying to mop up,
come out and say
that the real plan is to mop up.
Yeah.
Now they are saying they're advising people to do e-transactions and stuff. We get that. I don't have a problem. I have already downloaded the eNaira app for months. But there are people who are not that savvy. There are people who can't even afford a phone that has
those things,
data and all of that.
Let's be realistic with ourselves.
Then apart from that, even the ones that can afford it, the truth now is that the banks have, faulty backbones and systems. Transactions are failing. You know how much you've lost in the last couple of weeks. I know how much I have hanging. And it's not fair on people.
It's not fair.
Some people at the filling station, one of the days that we were at the filling station, there was a guy who wanted to buy only 4,000 naira worth of fuel. And he had queued up for 4,000 naira worth of fuel. The 4,000 naira was sent to him. So when he got to the front, he had to wait until he had confirmed that the money had entered his account. Then he makes a transaction. Because you pay before they sell to you with his POS. And it was debited, but it wrote declined on the printout.
And so what happened?
Now the man is there. He can't buy fuel. Can't get his 4,000 naira back. And he's there. He's stuck. He's dazed. Guess what? While he was complaining to those of us there, another man stood there and said he had the same problem. And this one came and said,
you want us to do another alternatives, but these alternatives
they're not working.
It's not making any sense.
They're not working.
Whatever it is, I said it again, whatever CBN and the presidency are planning on this matter, it's not working. It's not too late to come out and say we made a mistake.
I
think it's a very good initiative. We've always said it. The execution is flawed.
I was one of the people that put his neck on his line for this Naira swap thing. And I laughed at people who said, the design was this and the process was rushed. The design is
not the problem. It's not the
At
problem.
this point, nobody cares about the design.
Just give people their money to spend.
What people want is that if I have paid in 10,000 naira into my account, I want to get my 10,000 naira back.
I remember Monday morning, while trying to take a cab, I wanted to get cash, and then the POS person says, with 4,000 naira, that we had to pay 600 naira for 4,000 naira. I'm like, nope.
So
I'm not making nope.
So we heard now that they say they are going to clamp down on people charging those exorbitant prices. But this is the truth.
It's demand and supply. There isn't a lot of supply.
You are speaking grammar here. This is my own truth, and this is the reality. I stand to be corrected. Where is the manpower
with every POS
that
person.
you, CBN, will use to go and clamp down on all those
You've
POS
not even finished
points?
clamping down on banks. You people are just jokers. Anyway, still talking about this one. I don't know if I should call it a lighter note, but you people that are spraying money in the parties, you don't know.
Don't do it again.
Who EFCC is going to carry. It's just an advice from somebody that loves you and hopes
from the bottom
for
of
your your own freedom.
for the bottom of our hearts, like,
you do not know.
It's a joint love that I have for all of you.
Who they are going to use as scapegoats. Because in the case of a Simisola Gold, I'm sorry, I've never really
Truth is,
never seen or heard about.
never heard of her before until this case.
Nollywood actress. I never heard of her. Funny enough, I'm even someone that even tries to watch a bit of Nollywood movies.
I mean, I don't.
So no, you don't.
You didn't have to bring that up.
I'm just saying.
It's not relevant to this case.
Yes, it is.
I like Nollywood too.
I've never seen or heard about her before, but she, since last week there's been talks of her getting arrested and all that. Guess what? The court has remanded her in jail because of the stuff that everybody has done before.
All of us, God
Yeah,
forbid. But you people don't have proof that. I mean, I've never done it
Do
before.
you understand?
Spray money.
I'm not saying it now. See,
Don't spray again.
I know that in Nigeria there are people that the system just tries to climb down and then we don't hear anything about it again for a while. You never know when it will be your turn as a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Please, let's respect us. These days, you know what's even vexing me for people that spray money these days?
Mm-hmm.
There isn't even a lot of money to go around.
And I think that's why.
That's the one that is even busting my brain. Like,
But
if you have, and which is not a crime,
you know
to
what?
have, you are the opportune few that have. Respect yourself.
But you know
For
what?
the sake of people that don't have, I think it's an insult.
But you know what, Dolupo? I think some of the people who decided to spray the new Naira, they actually stepped it up this period because they knew people didn't even have access to it. You get?
Show yourself, Abby.
I showed
herself to jail.
I saw a video. I think it's 2 days ago now. And Dolupo, the video I saw was some Nigerians. I think they claimed that they were in America. They could have been. It looked like they were in a foreign place anyway, and they were flaunting the new Naira notes.
Okay.
The 1,000 Naira. They had a wad of it. They spread it out. They were like, "Oh, you people are queuing up. You people are killing yourself. See, we have it here." And I'm like, "Okay, I get it. You got the money in America somehow. What is the essence of this video? What are you trying to prove?
What are you trying to prove? Do you understand? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, whatever it is that you're trying to prove.
Yeah.
At this point, the fact that people are going through a lot trying to get it.
But you don't care.
And you actually have it. Which, the honest truth is, I don't blame anybody.
Yeah.
You are opportune to have it.
Yeah.
Good luck. It
So
makes sense.
So the reason why I brought that up is the way you were.
We don't use
and that's why
sense.
people.
Let's be using common sense.
Hey,
Nigerians.
come on, we no common again.
Let's
See,
be
and that's why
using
people
common
decided
sense.
to step up the spraying. I still saw a video of some big man. In Nigeria, when we say big man, we mean someone who's very rich.
You know the honest truth? The people that are really the big men, in quote, they don't even spray money.
Wait now, there are levels to this game. You are
They
talking
don't
about the
spray
highest
money.
level.
There are people that already gifted you lots of money before your party even comes. Like,
See.
don't be.
So there's
silly.
a video again I saw, and it looks like it was a wedding, and the bride and groom were sat, on their high table or whatever, and the guy was throwing wads of, I think it was 500 Naira at the bride and the groom.
Yeah,
They were
I think
sitting
I
down,
saw that.
and he was throwing it at them. We throw it at the woman, and he had someone carrying a briefcase, wearing a mask and everything.
I'm sorry. I saw that video, and I know that it's cool when people dash you money at your
Your event, your party,
your
yeah.
event. But I think you can be civil with it. You can't just be throwing money at me now.
Is that one that you're saying? Do you remember
That is
the video? The video of one of my favorite Nigerian artists, Praise. He was performing in Benin about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I think it was in Yaya.
You know, it was in Yaya, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's on age, you know, more like, you know. So, he was performing somewhere in
The
Benin.
guy was slapping him with money.
That slapping, I seen it at, I don't want to be tribalistic, but I seen it at some parts of Nigerian parties that I'm like, they actually slap you with money. They slap you.
I beg.
I
I
mean-
cannot go back home to be taking paracetamol and Panadol just because you was giving me
How much now? You're spending $100 naira,
What's
uncle.
this?
If you want to
What's
slap with $100, I will stay. I will collect it.
What's your
And
problem?
before you move away, finally, then I saw another video. I don't know how verifiable this is, but the Nigerian coins are back in circulation.
Please, you know I said this thing a few weeks
They're
ago.
back.
At this
Bags
point-
of coins,
At this
actually.
point in my life and in Nigeria,
And they are legal tenders. anyway.
I'm not a fan of cash. I've not been a fan of cash for a while, and the only reason why is because cash makes me spend unnecessary money.
And there are jams on cash, but that's not why I don't
So-
like cash. Before I'm termed the jamophobe now.
If
But there's, you know how people just handle cash anyhow,
yeah, if I need cash now
and they give you coins,
and I've given coins
you take it,
or 5 naira or 10 naira or 20 naira or 50 naira,
you take it.
as long as I can
It's a legal tender.
spend it and I can get what I need with that cash, I don't care about a 1,000 naira note.
You know,
I don't.
there's a story that I'm going to. I used to belong to a group that we like. It's a social group, and we find ourselves. We try to raise money and do. So if you post something in the group that someone had posted something before, then you post it. It's called genocide, and you pay for it. So there was a particular case that someone had been charged to. It was charged about 30 something case so many years ago, and he was supposed to bring that money to a meeting that we were having. And the guy came with coins. He came with that. Just picture. He came with coins and 5 naira and 10 naira notes, 30,000 naira, about 7 or 8 years
Easy,
ago,
no
when those things were not in circulation.
Is it no money? If you put like don't collect it.
So right now, Nigerians who, of course, have never seen the coins in circulation or who disregard it, and those lesser denominations, would have to spend them
Yes.
if you want.
The honest
you
truth
know.
is, as long as it's legal tender, it's time to start spending all that money.
But I don't know if this is the final note, but for me, I feel that the CBN needs to extend this period.
Yeah, it's not making sense.
People are suffering.
And last I checked, I thought that the president was supposed to give an order on that. Please,
He said 7 days. This is 11 days.
Uncle is 11, or grandpa. Thank you very much. It's 11 days. We see you in a bit. Anyway,
Which is no way. We've done about 30 minutes on this matter.
President Buhari has asked the UAE to try and lift the blanket ban on Nigerians traveling to the country. And
Yes,
we know
yes.
that there's a lot of drama around it. Sadly, a lot of Nigerians cause that.
Yeah, but again, for fact's sake, 22 countries are affected. It's not the UAE saying Nigeria is their
Nigeria
target.
is the
22
target, yeah.
countries. I don't know if you saw the video of a young girl whose parents, or I think she also lives with her parents in the UAE, and they finally had to get their work permits and all of that, and she just made a passionate plea to Mr. President, and I think to the Mama Diaspora, Abike Dabiri, and I think the minister or something, but Abike Dabiri saw the video and responded on Twitter, and she said that they're actually discussing that the minister was working on it. I understand the fact that people need to, immigrate. People also need to export their skills. You can't stop them.
You can't
That's
stop
the
people
truth.
from- yeah.
It's a free world. As long as you're not breaking any laws or any, laid down rules and regulations. So, again, it's another way for Nigeria to get forex in. So we have people scattered all around the world. Some of us have decided to stay back here. So we're not going to fault people who decide to go out. But if there's a diplomatic solution to the issues of Nigerians who are stuck, in these countries, especially the UAE, where there's a large, number of Nigerians who are seeking employment, who are actually legitimately working there, and it's not a Nigerian thing. I was looking at the statistics about Africans who are in the diaspora, and in the last 5 years, the number of South Africans who have immigrated to the UK or who are working in the UK has almost increased by 20 or 30%. I don't want to say doubled. You get? It has increased by 20 or 30%. So you start to think and say, okay, this is good. This is happening across the globe.
Board. So we'll see how that comes out. Almost forgot there's an update of the story that we talked about yesterday on the House on the Rock pastor and what him carrying an AK-47, and of course there's a lot of there's more clarity on that. According to the police, the pastor himself has been arrested. The person that gifted him the gun, the policeman, has also been arrested. His name has been put out there. He's also been arrested. The church in itself had released a statement saying that the pastor has been there since, I think, 1999, and he's a law-abiding citizen.
Okay.
But that at times people take some things too far in trying to drive a point, and but they're hoping that the government will temper justice, but that whatever it is, that the rule of law has to work.
This is the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NJ. Thank you for bringing this up again, because we discussed it about this time yesterday. The rule of law. We all say that we want a better country. Now, this pastor was talking about guarding your faith. It was also pushing, for some things to be done properly. But you don't break the law
in trying to prove a point.
You don't. Again,
I don't even
understand, where you are and how things are. Okay. People get licenses to bear arms in Nigeria also. It's more liberal in America. I don't want to go into that, but it's more liberal in places like America.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, you can't bear certain arms if you're not a military person. And one of those things is an AK-47, an assault rifle. You can get licenses to carry, I think it's a double barrel, because it's expected that maybe you're going hunting, or at times you're actually allowed to carry it, once you have the license, and the police are going to vet you and all of that. Now, having said all of this, a pastor should know better. A man of God should know better.
Is even part of
and whatever thing you wanted to prove, why didn't you get a prop? Why did you get some of these Nollywood people in your church to say, you know what, this person or that person who is in Nollywood, can you get me a prop? Do you understand?
Exactly.
And so when people go up and say, why did you carry a gun? You say, it was a prop.
It's a prop. Like that makes perfect sense. It was a prop. The issue with it for me is, as much as, yes, I'm a Christian and all that, I think that we're at a very volatile place in the country. Let's situate this, or we juxtapose it, if a Jumat service, an imam had this kind of gun
because he was preaching,
which they do as well, how do you think we would have taken it?
I'm sure that by now none of us would be allowed to sit down to drink water, because everybody will go off.
Everybody has something
this
to say.
Aram or that this or whatever.
Or that, it's
And that's why again, in preaching the gospel, remember that Jesus Christ was asked a question. If it was okay to pay taxes. Mm-hmm. He didn't say anything, though. He said to them, give me money. Give me the currency. And he asked them, whose image is this? They said, Caesar. And he said, give unto Caesar
what is Caesar's.
What is Caesar's, which means that there is a man of laws. Like, there are laws that exist. Don't break them.
I don't even know how. I'm sorry, maybe I calling me scared. But I don't know how carrying an AK-47 is okay by you.
Okay.
Or the people sitting in the church.
Is it?
Somebody carries the AK. My pastor is.
You don't even understand.
It's time to
you don't
go.
even understand the real me. The way we are there now. I'm in church. I picture my church, my local church, and my pastor comes on stage. We are on the pulpit. With
it's
a
time
gun.
To go home.
The funny thing is, if I was in church by myself, I'm gone. Immediately, as soon as I see him, I'm gone because I don't want devil to use him.
And then the thing was dangling all over.
The guy even carried it up now. But the look, if I'm there with my family, I was outside. We just go outside. But once we reach outside, we are going. You see that church? I will not come there again. I don't want to know. Even if it's prop.
You know that there are things called accidental destruction.
Why you go carry gun come? You know,
in an enclosed place. There's no how this can.
Good
be
luck
spoiled.
to him. Let's move on.
I honestly feel that somebody somewhere needs to go to jail for it, but
because we need to learn.
It's our way. It's our way. It's not. I won't be surprised if he's released on some what's it called, but anyway, maybe it's time to what's it called. It's time for people to understand. Maybe this is the reason people, because some people might not know, but maybe people will know now that there are some things that you shouldn't do. Anyway, moving on from that quickly. Governor Wike is in the news, as a high court has now extended the order stopping the People's Democratic Party from suspending or expelling Governor Wike from the party. Now, this news first broke last week, and it's kind of confusing for me. Why do I think it's confusing? I know that Governor Wike started this after a few people were suspended from the party. Major PDP stalwarts in Ekiti State,
Chimaroke
Namani, you know,
a serving senator,
a few people, and it was said that there was no hearing, there was nothing. They were just asked to leave. Now, everybody knows it's not a how do I say it now? It's not news that Governor Wike and the PDP are not besties at the moment. Yeah? And Governor Wike does not have good things to say about the leadership of the party that he belongs in. Yeah? If he doesn't like them that much. Why does he have a problem with if he is suspended? He's not even contesting an election anyway. So that's where I feel that it's kind of contradictory to me. Like, he has always come off with the belief that, or we have always come up like he doesn't care about whatever it is that they're doing. There.
Okay.
So why is
I think
suspending him a problem? That he has to go to court to stop them from suspending him.
Okay, so let me try to answer that. Let me try to answer that. I think that Governor Nyesom Wike is a very, very smart lawyer, a man of laws. He understands the courts, and at times he tries to overdo it. But I'm sorry, but it's my opinion. And why am I saying this is that he will never leave the PDP.
I don't see him ever leaving the PDP.
And he wants to have his cake and eat it. I know Nigerians usually say, eat your cake and have it. It is have your cake and eat it. You get. What he wants to do, and he believes strongly in it, is that the party has gone contrary to certain things.
Yeah.
And he says that until they do the right thing, but he's not leaving the party. But he has a presidential candidate that he wants to support. He said he was going to announce it on the 31st.
He didn't.
On or before. He didn't say 31st. He said
In
January.
yeah.
Now, this is February. The elections are in 11 days' time. What Ian Wike has done is that now the courts are saying that they would hear the case
In March.
March what? 15th. Presidential elections are when?
February 25.
So, between that time
Okay.
and...
He's not contesting an election. Why does he care?
Just wait. He wants to stay in the party. That's all he cares about. So, within now and that time, he can now do anything he wants to do. The party cannot suspend him.
Okay.
And there is a presidential rally coming up this week in Port Harcourt. This week.
Okay.
He can do anything he wants to do.
And then the party won't be
The
able
PDP
to.
cannot suspend him. And even the people that they have suspended, they have a case. So
They have a case.
they are
'cause
telling
I
them
was-
that it was done. Because that's not how it's actually done.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be from the word and all of that. So
And then there should be some explanation. They should be able to state their own case as well. You know, all those things. We would see how that definitely pans out with Governor Wike and the PDP. Now, moving on quickly from that, we're going to the Labour Party. The Labour Party, as we know, have ended their major rallies about a few days ago. And now they have now come out to debunk a story that broke yesterday, saying that the Southwest arm of the Labour Party has defected to the All Progressives Congress. They have now come to say that it is not true. Now, where I have a bit of conflict is that I've seen two separate videos of what seems to be like people with Labour Party cards. Labour Party cards tearing up their cards. I think I saw one from Ondo State and another one in Ogun State. Tearing up their party cards that had Labour Party on them. In fact, the one in Ogun was a longer video where there was a man who was like, okay, they should start tearing their party cards. Then the man that was talking had a Jagaban logo on his cap.
yeah, I'm listening.
And they were, and they were all they seemed very happy about what they were doing. Some people were even picking up the ones that people had just thrown out and they kept on tearing them. And I remember the news that broke in Ondo State was the story was attributed to the Southwest chairman of the Labour Party. It was said these people were part of the Presidential Campaign Council of the Labour Party. And now, Labour Party is saying that it's not true after videos came out. Are they telling us that those videos are doctored?
What they're saying is that those videos are not real. The Labour Party is saying that it was just stage managed and set up by the APC. You know, one of their Twitter influencers even went as far as saying that, oh, the cards look new. Can't you see that they were just printed and all of that? I almost said that, well, obviously, Labour Party is new to a lot of people, so their cards will look new. But the truth is, there is a video out there claiming that people have left one party for the other. It is actually going to be debatable until the elections, except there's something major that comes out. except the people who claim that they have left Labour to join APC in the Southwest, will come out again and make another video to say, look, forget what the Labour Party DG, presidential campaign DG has said, that they have actually left the party. You get?
Oh, yeah.
Until they do that, it's going to be contestable again. Now, one of the things that I always like to look at, and I try to tell people this, is that understand that all the parties are going to play games. APC, PDP, NMPP, Labour, they're all going to play games. At some point in time, they're going to come with fake stories too. So people can latch onto that. But for every party that tells a fake story, it will backfire on you. For instance, if you claim that you have millions of votes in one place, it might make your people relax. If you say, oh, we have won one state, and the people see your statements and videos, and they're like, okay,
we're good.
We have won. There's no need for me to, especially the undecided people that you need. Because constantly, I've read it and I keep saying it, the core supporters of all these top people will not leave them.
Yeah.
A Showore supporter will not vote for anybody else.
Exactly.
A Kwankwaso supporter will not vote for anybody else. A Bola Tinubu supporter, Peter Obi supporter, Atiku supporter. So it's the undecided people that you need. And if you are coming out on social media, putting videos and saying, we have 10 million here, we have 500,000 here, we have won, oh, see, look at the crowd. It might affect you because of the undecided people. It might also affect you if it's not real and the other people have more people than you.
Exactly.
And now we won't find out until the 25th.
Until probably even like 27th.
Or 26th. But it's going to be faster because Beavers is like this.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll all be here for it. Anyway, what I also wanted to talk about something with Labour Party. I saw it this afternoon. There was a story that's been going around that was attributed to the DG of the presidential campaign of the Labour Party about Oba of Lagos, that the Oba of Lagos had declined seeing Peter Obi and had said that he was not going to see anybody else other than the presidential candidate of the APC. Now, the statement that was now put out by the DG saying that that story was not true.
Yeah.
And that story did not emanate from him. Now, the problem with that story was that, I'm not saying that it emanated from him, but a verified handle of the Labour Party had posted that same story a few days before. That the Oba of Lagos did not want to see
exactly. And now they are denying it.
He's denying it. And I'm like,
so it's either
make up your mind.
I don't
think that's good enough for their
Mr. Oshutoku, right?
Yes.
Might be speaking the truth, but it also shows some kind of disconnect between the PCC and the party.
Exactly.
Again, you must understand why that is possible. A lot of people supporting Peter Obi will tell you that they are not Labour Party members. A lot of them tell you that, that they are obedient, that they are not Labour Party.
Okay.
So, which goes to show that there is the possibility of a disconnect while still working for the same candidate.
But why would you?
There are a lot of people also. There are a lot of people also who are Bola Tinubu and Atiku supporters who are not card-carrying members of the PDP or the APC.
Yeah.
But in their own case, they don't put out statements. Do you understand?
Why should it verified handle?
That's where the disconnect might be.
I think that's not good enough.
They need to synchronize. The Labour Party needs to synchronize their media to make sure that only verified information is put out. So that
you come out as a united front, because it's not I don't think that's that's good enough. But anyway, let's move on quickly from that. And there's a bit of sports stories quickly before we go. We have barely 10 minutes to go. First things that I wanted to talk about was that UEFA has now come out, it has now been found responsible for the 2022 Liverpool Real Madrid Champions League finals. It is said that as much as the UEFA has said it's everybody else, after proper investigation, saying that it is the UEFA that did not put proper structures in place.
So this is a very touchy subject. So many years ago, there was a crowd. There was crowd trouble at a game that involved Liverpool fans, and a lot of people died. And every year there's a memorial, to that effect. And again, the Liverpool fans were wrongly blamed. The facts are coming out, and it's showing that, of course, they were not culpable. And it was just basically a breakdown. The police, the system failed.
Yeah.
So, fast forward to 2022, and the similar situation is about to play. I'm glad that lives were not lost. I don't know of any lives being lost.
I'm not sure.
But at least it's not like what happened earlier I think it was in the 80s or so. So Liverpool fans were now wrongfully being blamed. Again. So you start to cash your way back, and people, it's easy for people to quickly say, it's Liverpool fans.
The minute there's somebody to blame, that's it.
And that's the danger of a one-sided narrative. Now, the UEFA report was leaked, and the Liverpool fans have quickly reacted to it.
Yeah, they're saying that there are people that are going with the class action against the...
I think they should.
I honestly, I think that as long as people's lives are involved, please go ahead. Quickly again, Czech International Midfielder Jakub Jankto has now come out as gay.
Yeah. So, the news broke yesterday. I saw the video that he made. In that video, Jakub said that it was tired of hiding, and he has a job to do, and he has done his job well. He has a family, he has everything, and he wanted to come out to the world to let them know that it was gay. Now, there have been rumors and there have been talks of different people in football. A player in Australia actually came out, I think it was last year or 2 years ago. Yeah. And before him, it's just basically been cloudy.
Yeah, it's not been...
There was one American player that did it, but people don't really
they
follow.
Attribute that to football.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, because again, look at it this way. The instant you start to think that, there's a possibility of a gay player and another gay player and all of that, you start to look at these celebrations. You start to look at contact, because it's a contact sport.
It's a contact sport, and then you're not
all
like,
of that.
Okay. And then are you sure that there won't be a lot of discrimination? Like, okay,
So, but the beauty of what has happened for Jakub is that immediately he put out the video for him as a gay person. The football organizing body, global body, FIFA, quickly put out a response on his timeline. Now, if you go through Jakub Jankto's timeline, virtually all the football clubs and top players. I saw a video of Neymar being interviewed. There's Champions League and all of that. And he said, look, we're all human, and everybody has a right to do what they want to do and everything. So as it stands now, there's a groundswell of support for him. A lot of people are congratulating him. People are also thanking him for taking the bold step, because some of the gay handles that I've seen are saying that, look, now they expect more people to speak up. But I saw a guy, a rainbow person who is also definitely LGBTQ, who said, thank you for doing it, but that he feels it's not necessary.
I was going to say that, and this is something I've always said. I don't know why our sexuality is
so important.
It's so important
that you have to announce.
You have to announce it.
I am this or I am that.
You're gay, you're straight, you're whatever it is you are. As long as you are fine, you have people in your life that are okay with it, and you're doing... I don't know why that information is necessary.
Yeah.
Personally.
Now, for me, and I'm going to say something that I know that is contrary to the Nigerian law. In a country like Nigeria, the being gay or being a witness to a gay marriage or whatever,
but
can cost you
in Nigeria's
your freedom.
context is the marriage.
Yeah. So, but in my belief and my opinion, I believe that whatever you do is your business.
It's your business. I agree. So
that you want to run
the whole world?
You want to run your life a certain way, it's fine. The way that I want to run mine is also fine, as long as I am not impeding or enforcing my lifestyle down your own throat. This is my belief. Now, I can be called anything for it, it's fine, but I just feel that everybody with that, because for every action there is a reaction.
There's a reaction.
Whatever it is, let it be.
I totally agree with everybody doing whatever it is they want to do. I just always have an issue with the fact that we're discussing. It's not anybody's business what I do behind closed doors.
Hopefully we would outgrow.
Outgrow is the word.
Outgrow the need to have this
validation.
Kind of
That's it. Why do you need people? Because it just always comes off as you're looking for validation. Left to me. But anyway, quickly before we go, there is a bit of conversation. I don't know if we'll be able to have a lot of time for it, but this is coming from the heels of the weekend games that happened over the weekend. That the chief refereeing officer in the English Premier League has now come out to say that there were mistakes with some of the games, the Arsenal-Brentford game, and I think the Brighton Crystal Palace game, where there was, in the case of Brighton, there was a goal that was disallowed that could have gone through. And in the case of Arsenal, the late equalizer by Brentford should have been disallowed.
Yeah.
Which, in those two cases, those were points lost.
Yeah. And which would impact on the result of the season, of the league.
In Brighton's case, they definitely need those points. Obviously, Arsenal definitely needs those points that they lost. And the issue I keep having is there's just always this conversation around it. Nothing gets done. It's still not going to change the result. Are you going to add the goal or are you going to remove the goal? No. So what's the conversation about?
Yeah. So I believe that the way the VAR is being operated in England is completely messed up. There are more complaints about VAR in the English Premier League than any other top 5 league.
Maybe they should scrap it.
No, they shouldn't. They should learn from the other people who are running it well. Now, there's VAR in cricket, there's VAR in rugby,
which have been happening long before football,
and we've not had this much controversies. And I've been suggesting it. I even wrote an article about it.
Remember there was stories with the World Cup as well.
Yeah, I've been talking about how they need to adopt the VAR that can be quickly checked also by the fans. In rugby, the whatever the referee is watching is also on the big screen. Then you can now come back and tell the whole stadium that it's a goal when everybody has seen it too. That puts a little bit of check and balance in place, but it's worthy of discourse. However, you look at VAR and you see where Fikayo Saka, I'm sorry, why do I always say Fikayo Saka? Bukayo Saka was upended in the box. Or Gabriel Jesus. And you look at different scenarios and you say, okay, why isn't this a penalty? There's this other Chelsea player that palmed the ball. Yeah. So what's VAR for? And the VAR is supposed to be a virtual assistant. You have an advantage over the referee because you're seeing things that he couldn't see, and you highlight and say, oh, you need to check this. The referee still has the final say. But I think that for one reason or the other, England has decided not to get it right.
Anyway, definitely might still get to talk about this again tomorrow or some other day. But on that note, that is all we'll be able to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time. Please do have a very, very nice Valentine's Day, and please be safe. Thank you very much.
Don't do anyhow. Don't do any